All right, guys. Love Bites. I meant to talk about this earlier because we were talking about Ryan's producing and stuff very weekly. He was motivated and inspired by some of the Love Bites videos that have been posted by Miyako. If you want to talk about that, Ryan.
Yeah, 100%, man. I think it's really cool she's doing that. So yeah, she put out these videos, and there's 2 out so far. And I think the first one was a little over an hour and a half, I can't remember. And she got like from the start of the song through the first, like up to the first chorus, I think. And she goes through the whole process, dude, shows you everything, which is really cool. And there's some things she did that I'm going to start implementing when I actually did on the last thing, was just setting up tracks and assigning them before you even start. So when you go to record the guitar, you know where you're going to put it. Like, it's a simple thing, but I usually start with like one track. I'd record a part, then I'd set up another one, get another thing in. And this last time I set up all ahead of time, so I'm like, oh, I'm going to add some keys. Oh, I already got some there's a thing right there for it. And
so it's such a good idea.
What do you mean? I'm sorry, I went over my head a little bit. You assign the tracks? Like, you mean you already have a guitar track, keyboard track, and drums?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like, I'm going to have, 2 guitars and keys, whatever. So it's there waiting. So when you want to do it, it's already ready. Because what I end up doing is like, I'll add another track and I forget to change the input or some shit, and in the moment or whatever. It's just it's like a simple thing, but just made so much sense. I'm like, okay, I should have been doing that the whole time.
What DAW is she using there? Digital audio workstation, for those that don't know.
Looks like Reaper.
Is that Reaper?
I thought it was Pro Tools. I think it's Pro Tools.
Yeah.
If I remember right.
Could be wrong.
But it's nice keyboard set up there. She did all the drums with the keyboard, but the way, I don't know, because at one point she's like, well, I'm gonna improvise a solo, and then just played like this immaculate freaking solo, and I'm like, wow.
She's like, this is my rough solo.
Yeah. She did guitar part. No, that's what it was. She had a melody, like a harmonized part. I think she knew beforehand, so she played both parts. Then she goes, I'm going to improvise a guitar solo, but she did that with the fucking piano.
Wow.
She played her guitar solo with the piano, and then she'll learn it. She'll transpose it to guitar. Dope. It's pretty cool to see, dude. So just seeing how efficiently she works, and the second video just went more, and she went like further on with the song, adding chorus and vocal melodies and stuff like that. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I love that. This is one of those things, Ryan and I were just talking before it came on. I always feel weird streaming this stuff because I always think people are going to be bored out of their mind watching it, but I can see the benefits of doing that because you can see how other people's workflows are working also, and you can definitely be inspired on how to do it better. So I do appreciate that. I think Ren does this too. He's been putting up production videos and stuff like that, and it's really cool to see how people attack this process. And I like how Miyako does it because she can play all the instruments. So I feel like it's even easier when you know it that well, and you can just do whatever when you're manipulating sounds. But even like seeing how people put like different compressors and synth pads, and they like mess with the sounds. Does she do any of that later, or is that going to be like a later video when she does the production stuff?
I didn't see really much of that. She's just laying down tracks, not really adding.
Gotcha. This probably going to be the later ones.
Like the raw recording, then I'm sure she'll mess with it a lot later, which I'll be interested in seeing kind of how that process goes, because I barely know what the fuck I'm doing with that.
Yeah, that part's crazy when you start getting into the like how you spread the sounds out and stuff like that. Yeah. I can't wait to watch it all the way through. I was watching parts of it, and this is amazing. I love the setup, just having that long piano like right there.
That's cool,
ready to go.
And the Ninja in the chat says at the end of the second video, she says she's put in a total of a little over 2.5 hours. And it just sounds amazing. It's cool to see.
Man. Oh, yeah. This is cool that she's doing that, because for those that don't know, she has her own channel. It's going to be a 7-part series, right? Total. So there's a link.
So she'll have to get into that production side of it, mixing.
Oh, yeah. That's the part I'm really looking forward to checking out, to see how she does that.
Yeah,
you're like
the easy part is just laying down everything.
Song and stuff.
Well, yeah, easy really part cool. Used loosely there. Sometimes it's just amazing to see that process. That's cool. I never thought about that. Just having the track set up, it makes sense because I do that with drums, but like, why not do it with everything else? Yeah. Like when I meet up with our drummer Frank, I always get the session ready. I remember I used to do it like right then and there, and it used to take up so much time. You like show up and you got to put all the tracks and inputs. I'm like, why am I doing this? So at home, I would set up all the tracks, put all the inputs I know I'm going to use. I do it with drums. I just never thought about doing it with everything, just having the guitar ready and stuff. That's really smart. Yeah. Another thing too is color coding. A lot of these DAWs you can color code.
Oh yeah.
Bro, that helps us so much.
Dude.
And go ahead.
Just even titling the fucking tracks, dude. 2-track record. Like, what the hell was that? Why didn't I label it a fucking bass?
Wait, you don't like audio
Well, are
1,
any of y'all
audio
like
2,
ADHD?
audio
I'm
3?
super ADHD, man.
Yeah, for sure. We're musicians. I think being ADD or ADHD is a requirement for being a musician.
Man, I might be losing service, homies.
No, if you got to get
Yeah,
going,
brother.
we completely understand, dude.
Yeah, well, man, guys, thank you guys, and thank y'all, everybody that's in the chat. I am so stoked to read back some comments and stuff like that. But for real, thank y'all for having me on here, man.
All right, man. We'll see you next week, dude.
See you, man.
All right, what were we talking about again? I forgot. We were something about
Recording,
recording
stuff.
Yeah. Do we record stuff? Is that what's that?
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, it's really cool that she's doing that. I really appreciate it, and it's awesome that it seems like fans are enjoying that also. Just coming out and showing
neat
up
to
a
see,
process. It's really neat.
Yeah, it's cool to see just because, there's hundreds of different ways to like go about recording and stuff, and everybody has their own personal way of doing it, and to be able to learn other people's and see how other people go about it. It's just like, like you were saying, you picked up something and
You always do.
Yeah.
You always do.
You should be able to learn from whatever it is you watch when you watch stuff like that. No matter what their skill level, you can learn what not to do. You can learn what to do.
exactly.
It's cool to check out other people's processes.
Yeah, Rainer says part 3 is going to be about arrangement. I'll be really curious to hear how she does that. So, knowing that she does that, so is she the main? She has always been like the main writer of the band, I guess, or a main arranger. And is that what she sends to the band, or is this for like her personal stuff? Do you guys know?
It's for the band.
It's for the band. Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder how that
Yeah,
works.
I didn't realize that either. Like oh, she must do this all the time because she has like the two guitar parts, rhythm part, and then here's the vocal melodies and stuff. Like,
So Miyako is Konami for Love Bites, pretty
Right.
much. Yeah.
pretty much, yeah.
Well, something that's still fascinating too with Bandmade is Miku does all the lyric writing. So who does the melodies? Is it Saki?
Konami does.
Yeah, Konami does too, right? Yeah.
Yep, she builds the melody into the song too. That's got to be why everything fits so well. Even though there's so much going on under the vocals, because it's part of the song. It's not just a vocal melody; it's just a fucking song.
For sure. Like Undead Ninja was saying, she writes a lot of songs, but not everything is her song.
Right on. Yeah.
What's a good example of something that's not Miyako's song and something that is? Because Miho did a lot of songs too. I wonder.
That's right.
See, and that's insane because Miho left, right? We come a long way since recording with Fostic 4-track days. Nowadays, there are apps that have AI doing the production.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know what? That might make it even more important to show you doing this.
Right. So they know you're doing shit.
You're doing shit, yeah. Because a lot of people do AI stuff. I mean, the AI stuff is really good. Maybe we should make a video of me just creating a song with AI. Like, you could do it so easily. It's really insane. It's really insane. Like, for example, Ryan, you're gonna trip out right now. So, was on tour with Firewind, Gus G. We made a song out of about him turning into a goose with AI. And we're like, put it into a power metal form, right? And this is what we got. All AI. I didn't do any.
What do you mean?
I just went into a prompt that said, write a song about Gus G turning into a goose in the style of power metal, and then make sure it has rappy lyrics for the verse. So that's why it's like a rap, like in the verse part. That's all I did. It's called Suno or something like that. Yeah, Suno is the name of the AI app.
Right on.
Fucking crazy. Whole albums, man.
That's insane.
So I'm coming out with a power metal album, and I'm not going to play anything in it. But I'm going to produce the whole thing, okay?
That's a human element.
AI can write a power song better than Stevie T. Swan Song was composed by Miyako and lyrics by Asami. Oh, okay. Awesome. This was a clip from our Ungaku podcast that we do every Wednesday and Sunday. So make sure you check out the full podcast right here. And if you have the means to do so, you can support this podcast further over on our Patreon. We put up reactions with other musicians on some of our favorite bands over there. I'll see you guys in the next one. See you.